Morning, Mr. Jusan. I'd like to ask you a few quick questions on English 11.
No problem at all.
How is English 11 going to be beneficial to students that will take it?
English 11 is a little bit different. We focus on the concept of the American dream. In today's generation, the American dream means money, making money, getting cars, getting the big house. But what a lot of students don't realize is that the American dream has changed over time. It used to be about being able to come to this country and, the possibility of working and having a house and having a family. So we focus on the difference between the idealistic versions of the American dream and the materialistic versions of the American dream in the things that we read and how it has changed over time.
What makes this course different and more engaging than other English classes from the past students?
This class is different from other classes or ones that you have taken in the past because of the things that we read, because of the style of writings that we do. We do have a textbook, but along with that we supplement with different forms of writing, different forms of poetry. And of course you get, your instructor has a very unique personality, so that...
Of course. What are some works of literature that students will be reading in your class this year?
We focus on both fiction and nonfiction. We start out with The Great Gatsby and the idealistic version of the American dream, somebody that wants the love of his life, and but in order to acquire the love of his life, he has to become wealthy because she is very rich, and as she says, rich girls don't marry poor boys. We work on some nonfiction as well, and the story of Into the Wild, where somebody, their idealistic version of the American dream is living freely off the land, and so he abandons his family and goes off and lives out of his car for a while, then travels by foot, and he does live his idealistic lifestyle, which is just to be free, but unfortunately he's found dead in a bus in the middle of the Alaskan wilderness. So we look at both, stories that are made up and stories that are real, and the way people pursue their dreams and the outcomes. So it's a little. The literature is focused on pursuing your dreams and the results of that.
Thank you, Mr. Jusan.
You got it.
Hey, Mike. We'd like to ask you a few quick questions on English 11.
Okay.
How is this class going to be beneficial to the students that will take it?
It's going to be beneficial because, you read a lot. Obviously, it's like English. That's what you always do. But you work a lot with others, and you read a lot out loud, so it really gets the class together.
All right. What makes this course different and more engaging than other English classes?
More than ever, you're, reading aloud with the class, like I said before, but, like, everyone always takes a part, like, whether you're reading a play or something, and, it keeps people focused on what you're doing, and, you always get the main ideas at the end of the day.
What are some works of literature that students will be reading in this class?
My favorite work that we've done so far was, The Great Gatsby, Macbeth, and The Crucible, and it's really great what we've read so far this year, and especially in The Great Gatsby. It teaches you like life lessons that are really important, like the American dream and what you should really value, and how money is not always important. Like family, you should take more into account than sometimes materialistic items like money.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
No problem.
Good morning, Ms. McCarthy. We'd like to ask you a few quick questions about the SAG Club. What makes this club unique than other clubs at Harrison High School?
Well, I think it's the only club in the high school that focuses on alcohol and drug use among teenagers, and focuses on drinking and driving and making better decisions. It's really the only club that focuses on that stuff.
How do students become involved in their community through the club?
By raising awareness, doing stuff at LMK for the health for Wellness Week, and just by trying to educate other students about the dangers of alcohol and drugs, help make better decisions.
How can this lab impact the lives of the students involved?
I believe that if a student that's in the SAD Club, if they're tempted to use alcohol or drugs, like if they're asked to use, they might think twice, because they're in the club and they're working so hard to promote awareness, that if it could help them make better decisions too, because they don't want to be hypocrites about it.
Thank you, Ms. McCarthy.
What made you choose this club out of all other clubs?
The reason I chose SAG Club is because, I'm drug-free and alcohol-free, and that's what this club is all about, And, it's a fun club. We do fun stuff, and there's good people, and it's easy to attend on the basis that it's held, and I just enjoy the club. It's fun.
How does this club impact your life?
SAG Club impacts my life because it helps inform me and makes me become more aware of the true dangers of drugs and alcohol, and that just gives me even more of a reason to stay away from them.
What do you do at SAG Club meetings?
Usually during SAG Club meetings, what we do is we discuss dangerous situations involving drugs and alcohol. We make posters a lot. We have bake sales. We sometimes take trips to places, and basically we just do everything that spreads the word of the dangers of drugs and alcohol.
Morning, Ms. Seligman. I'd just like to ask you a few quick questions on varsity baseball.
Okay.
What makes Harrison athletics, especially varsity baseball, a great way to participate in extracurricular activities?
Well, you can remember back when you were in ninth grade, and you hear everybody telling you that the more you're involved in the school, the better you will do, the more successful you will be. The more clubs you're involved in, the more sports you're in, the play, whatever you involve yourself in, the more contacts you have, it just makes you a more successful person. I think the experiences that you get in athletics, as far as meeting new people, as far as accepting challenges, as far as working together as a team for teamwork, these are things that you can't find in the classroom. And in athletics, we look at as an extension of the classroom. We look at our coaches to teach, and they teach you values, and they talk about character, they talk about sportsmanship, they talk about team building, everything that you would want to see in a young person as you're going through life.
Thank you. How can trying out for this team help kids step out of their comfort zone?
Well, gee, I should ask you that, because, here you are, you're kind of comfortable, you're in your little circle, and now you're being asked to try out for something, and you might not be a star athlete, you might not be the stud, but you really would like to participate. So yeah, you're taking a risk. You're putting yourself out there, you're saying, here I am, I'm doing the best I can, let's see if it measures up. So is that stepping out of your comfort zone? I think so. But should everybody step out of their comfort zone? How else are you going to grow if you don't step out of that comfort zone? So whether you win or lose, it's a great experience. And how do you know whether you're going to win or lose unless you put yourself out there?
Right. How can playing a sport improve a student's skills and self-esteem, not only now, but for the future too?
Well, I look at sports as, it's not just the X's and the O's. When you sign up for a team, you learn how to get along with everybody else on your team. You learn how to communicate. You learn how to work together to be successful. You go through a lot of difficult times. You really learn, and you really can see the true character of the kids when they're playing in a very competitive game. I think you'll find now, where did I see this? In the New York Times, 90% of the board members for Fortune 400 companies have athletic experience. So all the experiences that you get in athletics translates over into life experiences. Win, lose, how you accept defeat, how you accept success, how you carry yourself. These are life lessons, and this is what we're trying to teach in athletics.
Thank you, Ms. Seligman. You've been a
Okay,
great
you're
help.
welcome, Stephen.
What up, Mike? We'd like to
What's
ask you a few quick questions on varsity baseball.
Okay.
What makes Harrison athletics, especially varsity baseball, a great way to participate in extracurricular activities?
I think it's great because, obviously you don't go home right after school or anything like that, but, you come out, you work hard every day at practice, games, scrimmages, whatever it is, and, it's, very competitive, obviously, because it's a varsity sport, and, it's something that, it's just fun to do, especially when you love the sport and you get to play it every day.
How can trying out for this team help kids step out of their comfort zone?
Well, you're playing with the best kids, around you, obviously, in this school, and, not only here but other schools around the area, and you know you're always fighting for a position and stuff, and so you know you really need to come out every day and show you know the coaches and everyone what you can do, and really prove yourself. So.
How can playing the sport improve a student's skills and self-esteem not only now but for the rest of their lives in the future ahead?
Like any sport, I mean baseball, you know, it prepares you for life because you know it's you put all your effort into it and you want to be the best you can be, and when it comes to the day when you need to go apply for a job or when it comes to your career, you know you want to put all your effort into it and just you know put your heart into it and play or apply for the job that you want to apply to. So.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Yep, no problem.